Hey everybody, welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. It's your girl Angie, and I am so excited, y'all. It is that time. It is time to get into Survivor talk. Survivor is coming up next week, Wednesday. That's in like 9 days, 8 days. It's season 40, and it's Winners at War. It's the all winners season, and I'm so here for it. I've been wanting an all winners season for so long. So I'm excited that I have a YouTube channel now that I could talk about Survivor, because I really don't know a lot of people, especially not in my household, that like to talk about Survivor. And I have so much Survivor talk, and this is going to be a season where I know I'm going to get on YouTube and have a lot to say. I can't wait for it to start. Today, I want to get into a little bit of the cast overview. I want to break down the teams, the red team and the blue team, just give a little bit of my opinions on the people they have coming back to play. I'm also going to do some more videos to rev up to get to the start of the season. I want to do a power ranking video, which is 1 through 20, giving people where I think they rank as the best chance of winning the game. And then I also want to do some Survivor fantasy. I want to kind of pick 5 players that, if I was playing Survivor Fantasy, and if you out there and you play Survivor Fantasy, get in these comments and let me know, because I want to play. I love fantasy football, and I would love to play Survivor Fantasy. But these are going to be 5 people, if I have money to put on, that I think can win the game. I'm going to do a video on that, and then we're going to track this throughout the season to see if I could have won some money or not. And like I said, if you do play for money, get in these comments, let me know your girl want to play. All right, let's start off these player overview with the red team. This is in no certain order. It's just how I pulled the list from CBS. Now, first we have Tony. I'm excited to see Tony play. I remember his season. He was known for that craziness of the Spy Shack, and he was very outgoing, just doing everything to win the game. And Tony is an exciting player. Like, Tony is someone who I think is an unpredictable player. I don't know what he's going to do. Now, mind you, I did watch everyone's pregame interview, and I tried to read up and go on YouTube and watch some highlights from their seasons, because not everyone I remember, but Tony I remember. Like, he was making big moves, he was getting people out of his way, he was finding idols, winning challenges. Like, Tony was a great player. He kind of shaped the way New School Survivor is kind of playing, and I'm really excited to see what he's going to do. Now, I think Tony is going to get out there. He's going to be one of these players who may bump heads with a few people, but I think he's going to be one of the people who they say have a huge ego, and they have to get their ego out the way. Now, Tony was in his pregame interview throwing shade. Now, he was talking about it's a number of people out there that just because they won Survivor, they think they huge celebrities. Now, for a Survivor fan like me, a lot of, like, if I remember you from Survivor, you are a celebrity. Like, it's some players, especially coming up on this season, that if I saw them out, I'd be like, hey, I would be happy to see them. So, I mean, they ain't no A-list celebrity, but in the Survivor world, a lot of them are Survivor celebrities. And Tony, you are one too, so don't be a hater. People like you. And the interviewer was like, well, who do you thinks that they're a celebrity? And he was like, the ones with them little YouTube channels. And I started cracking up. I said, Tony, that's shady. Don't be like that. He also threw some shade at Sandra and said her strategy of playing anybody get voted out but me is boring. It may be boring, but she got $2 million. Mind you, say what you want to say about Sandra. She has $2 million. And we're going to get to Sandra too, because she on the red team. Tony, I think, I don't want to get too much into my power rankings, but I just feel like Tony's not going to make it that far. I think he's going to rub people the wrong way. In order for him to make it deep into the game, his team needs to be winning challenges, because I think as soon as they lose at a certain point, they're going to give him the boot. But next, who we have on the red team is Wendell. Now, I love Wendell. He was one of my favorite players. I remember him playing with Dom. I remember him, Dom, Laurel, and Dominic. What's his name, Dominic? I don't remember the one who had the real harsh southern accent. I don't remember his name, with the red hair. But I remember their clique. I remember him and Dom were running the game. I remember Wendell, him and Dom made really great moves, but it was too much of that ride or die strategy. It's not going to work on this season of Survivor. Like, you can't make it through the whole game with equal resume as somebody else. Like, you're going to have to make moves that you can claim as your own. Because him and Dom were the first season where there was a tie, and Laurel had, I'm sorry, y'all, I don't know why I'm choked up. I know why I'm choked up. My husband burned some food in the kitchen and it's smoky in here. Excuse me. But Laurel had to break the tie, and that was the first time we saw a tie in Survivor history. And I believe Laurel gave her vote to Wendell because Wendell saved Laurel one time with one of his hidden idols. I think this is going to be real cutthroat this season. So I don't know how much friendship and saving people going to really work. But I think Wendell has a good shot of winning the game. I think in his pregame interview, a little spoiler for my power rankings, people in that pregame interview who had a lot of excitement and a lot of strategy talk, I feel like they're going to do good. People who studied the game and studied these players, I think they're going to do better than the people who just want to walk in here and wing it. That's just me. We're going to watch and see. But I think Wendell's going to do good at the game. I think he can make it to the end. Part of his strategy, he said he talked to his homeboy Dom, and Dom told him, cut out that game making, that furniture making. That's too much. Don't do that. And I agree, Wendell. Just get out there and play the game. Don't get out there doing too much, making swings, couches, shelves, and all that kind of stuff. He says Jeremy is a huge threat, but he can see himself working with Jeremy and cutting him at the end. He also wants Rob, Sandra, and Tyson out. Now, Wendell, 2 of those 3 on your initial team. So I hope you keep that comment to yourself in the beginning. Like, don't go out there saying you want Rob, Sandra, and Tyson out, because that could get you in some early kick-out trouble. But I'm excited to see Wendell play, and I hope he can get in there and get a good alliance going, because I don't know how much pregame alliance he's going to have going on. Now, the next person on the red team is Sophie. Now, I didn't really remember Sophie. She was someone I had to go back and watch highlights of her season, and when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay. She's a good game player, but she's a very old school Survivor game player where is this alliance to the end. That's not going to work in this season of winners either. You're going to have to know how to maneuver and adapt through all situations of the game. I think they're going to have a lot of twists, a lot of idols, a lot of advantages. You're going to have to know how to work your way through that. It's not going to be, this is my team, red team, and to the end. That ain't going to work, because the red team, to me, seems like the team that's going to have the most beef. It's the team where I can see a lot of personalities clashing in the beginning. And I know we haven't got to the blue team yet, but the red team, to me, seems like they're the team that's going to lose all the challenges until a swap. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Sophie's interview was kind of boring. And for me, when I watched her back, she was a very blunt, direct speaking type of woman. I hope that the reputation she thinks she got from her win doesn't affect how she is in this season and she becomes quiet and kind of a follower. I hope she still has that strong, say it how you mean it personality, because I think that's going to help get her farther in the game. I really think Sophie is someone who can fly under the radar for a while and then pounce at the merge. So I feel good about Sophie. I haven't seen her play in a long time, and so I'm curious to see how she maneuvers through a lot of these big personalities, because her personality is not going to be the biggest this season. So I'm excited to see Sophie play. Sophie said the person that she's worried about that has the best game is Natalie. And I said, okay, Natalie, my homegirl now. Don't come after my homegirl. But she also says she wants to get Tony and Poverty out too. They're big threats as well. So Sophie seems like she got her mind in the game. I think Sophie can do a little bit of damage along the way. Now next, we have Amber. Amber is Rob's wife. So we have a married couple on there this season. But thankfully, in the beginning, they're not going to be on the same team. They are going to start off on different teams. I totally did not remember Amber's game. They said the first time she played was, what, season 2? When I even tried to pull that up on my TV, just the quality of television during season 2 hurt my head. I didn't even watch it. I did rewatch some of the highlights from the All-Star season she won with Rob, where Rob proposed. Say it how you mean it, Angie. She ain't deserve that win. She did not deserve that win. I think people were pissed off at Rob. Rob definitely brought her to that final 2. Well, she did win and she brought Rob, but I'm curious to see what Amber can do. I got a little bit of tea about Rob and Amber. I'll talk about it when I get there. But she's never even played with an immunity idol. So this is going to be very new for her. I'm sure her husband coached her on how to play this new version of Survivor. But I don't care what anyone says, and I'm just going to spoil my power ranking right now. Amber is the first boot. There's no way anyone is going to ever give Rob and Amber an opportunity to play this game together as a married couple. I will put money on that. We shall see. But I really don't see it for Amber, and I think she's the first one out on the red team. But she did say Rob told her not to trust Sandra. Sandra is on the team with her. You would think maybe her and Sandra might link up to help each other get further, because they're very huge threats together. Like I said, we shall see. Amber, I think, will have the personality where, like I said, this red team has a lot of personalities that I don't think are going to click. I think they're going to clash. Amber could be that calming voice where she might make it a couple of tribals. When I get into my strategy video, I'll tell you more on why I don't think so, but she has a huge threat on her back coming into the game. Now, next on the red team is Kim. Kim was in One World. Kim is where they were all on that one beach, and it was boys against girls, and it kind of turned into a girls' alliance, and Kim was running that game. I agree with other people where that season was not even that exciting, because whatever Kim said, that's who went. People followed her. I think Troyzan was the only one on Kim's tail who wanted Kim out, but he just could never get it done. And then once Troy was out, it was over for Kim. It was a clean slate. Like, it was over for them. It was no hope. Kim was one person who was able to have multiple alliances, and no one crosstalk to see that Kim was working with everyone. Like, Kim was running that game. Can Kim run this game? I think she's going to give it a shot. I think she's also going to be a calming personality, where on this red team, a lot of people are going to be clashing, and I think she's going to be able to maneuver her way deep into the game. Kim is a person who is a threat because her name is in everyone's preseason interview mouth. Everyone is saying Kim is a threat. Everyone is saying Kim had the best game. Everyone is looking out for Kim, and I don't think Kim recognizes the size of the target she has. That could be Kim's downfall. But if she can get with a couple of other threats to shield herself, Kim can make it far in this game. And if she pulls a couple of girls together and creates a really strong alliance, I can see Kim running for it. She gave her best game to Miss Sandra. A lot of people got Sandra's name in their mouth too. But I don't think Sandra is a huge threat. I just think people hating that Sandra got $2 million and they don't. But that's just Angie. Now, Kim in her pregame interview, she scares me because in her pregame interview, it was very boring. It was very short. Everyone else's interviews were between 9 and 10 minutes. Kim's interview was 4 minutes and 30 seconds. If that. So her mind was at home. She's already missing her daughters too much. I'm like, is she one of these people who's going to miss her kids so much that she just doesn't give her all and pulls that flag on Exile Island and goes home? I don't know. I don't think so, because mind you, in these pregame interviews, they haven't said they playing for $2 million yet. So I think once everybody hear the $2 million, they're going to go in. So I think Kim has a good shot for it. Next on the red team, we have Tyson. Tyson has a game where I know him from Survivor Fan World, where I've listened to him talk on many podcasts. I've seen him on that, Rob has a podcast when they go and do actual shows. I've seen him at some of those. Like, Tyson is someone who I know from Survivor World, but I don't remember his seasons. I did have to rewatch, and I remember the season where he won, where his girlfriend, it was when they were playing with Blood versus Water, and his girlfriend got kicked out, and he didn't take places with his girlfriend because she really wanted him to play and win. He ended up winning, and that was his motivation. And he also hurt his shoulder that season, so people didn't think he was that much of a threat. I think Tyson is a huge physical threat. He, in his pregame, has a strategy, something that I didn't know, where the lighter you are, the less weight you have to hold up or carry in the challenges. I thought Survivor was equal. I didn't think they did that equalizer thing like they do on The Challenge or Big Brother. I thought everyone held the same weight. But he said if you're lighter, your weight is lighter, so he didn't want to gain weight for this season. Smart strategy, Tyson. And Tyson is also somebody who has a really good pregame strategy that I hope he sticks to. Now, the one thing he said, he was going to say he was out because, a lot of these people are friends. A lot of these people are going to have pregame alliances. As much as they all saying they not going to have one, they going to have some pregame alliances. So Tyson said he going to say he was looking around in somebody's journal and saw their kickoff order list, they boot list, and he gonna tell people that their name was at the top of their boot list to try to get people to flip on each other. Now don't do that, Tyson. I don't think that's not gonna work. But he's gonna tell people that Parvati only agreed to come on the show if she got the same amount of money that Rob and Sandra got paid to go out and do season 39 Island of the Idols, and he's going to tell everyone that they got paid $200,000 and that Parvati only agreed to come back if she got $200,000 as well. Mind you, that's a really good lie, because that's going to create hate and jealousy, and people going to think, oh, they already got $2,000 to come out here, get them out. They can go. They don't need this $2 million too. I can see that lie working, and I hope he says it. But I also believe that could be true. It's a lot of these players on this list that I don't think is just coming back for the fun of trying to win this $2 million. And mind you, they thinking they coming back just for the fun of winning $1 million. I believe a lot of these big name Survivor celebrities got paid a cute check to come out here. And we're going to get into that. I believe it 100%. I don't think this lie Tyson is telling is too much of a lie. He might not have the number right, but I believe it. I believe it, Tyson. But the only thing is that if he tells this lie and it backfires, he will be kicked off very quickly. He will not be trusted, and I want to see Tyson play. Like, he's somebody who I think can run for it. So I hope it works out for him. The next person is Sarah. Sarah is the cop who played good cop the first time and got kicked out by Tony. And then she played the bad cop the second time and won. And I think the second time Sarah played was amazing. I think one of the most amazing things she did was have old girl tell her about her legacy advantage, and to be like, oh, you got an advantage and you willing to give it to me? Okay, well, you got to go. Let me figure out how you can get up out of here and will me this advantage. And that's exactly what happened. She voted old girl out, and old girl gave her her legacy advantage. Amazing. And she was like, I pay attention to details. Michaela, that whole other advantage was sitting right at your toes, and you ain't even see it because you too pissed because ain't nobody pick you to be on your team. And I like Michaela. Like, Michaela is an entertaining player. I don't think Michaela can... We ain't talking about Michaela. We ain't talking about Michaela. Sarah. Sarah worries me because in her pregame interview, she was cocky as hell. Just overly cocky. Like, I don't know if she can hide her cockiness, especially since she's going to be on the same team with Sandra, and she's going around saying she's the only one to ever beat Sandra. Everyone has lost to Sandra. She's the only one that has beat Sandra, and she says because of this, no one else has a better game than her on the beach. And she says also, I'm not even impressed by any of the female winners on the show. I said, okay, Sarah. Think of yourself too much, Sarah. Like, Sarah did play a good game. I ain't going to take nothing from Sarah, but I think that cockiness is definitely going to shoot her in the foot. By her being on the same team as Sandra, I can already see the tension between those two just in the air. They might not even have to say nothing to each other. I can see it going down between Sarah and Sandra, and one of them might have to be the first to go. We shall see. But if Sandra can keep everything she said in pregame to herself and play under the radar and humbly for a little while, she can run for it too. Really, all of them can. They're all winners. I can see a path for at least a good 60% of them. Now, 40% of them have no chance. Like none. But some of them have a chance. But let's move along. Let me make sure I ain't skip anybody because I feel like I went through those kind of fast. I'm not trying to talk too much. But Nick is next. Nick, he's the newest winner. And I mean, I like Nick's game. Nick was on a season where I loved so many people on that season, where it was a handful of them that could have won, and I would have been happy with that winner. It was a very entertaining season that Nick played on, and by him being the winner, I'm not mad at it, but he didn't do too much overly impressive. Like, yes, he had a lot of idols. He had a lot of advantages. He played most of them correctly. I ain't mad at that, but let's just move on from his season. He's also the newest winner, which I think can hurt him in that pregame alliance phase because he's not going to know anyone to be in a pregame alliance. But he said in his pregame interview, an advantage he has is that he's played in Fiji before. So he knows where to look for these idols. He's been on that beach. He knows a lot of the good hiding spots. So that really is a good advantage for Nick. But I feel like if the cocky people don't clash fast enough, he could be an easy first boot if somebody wants to save Amber. Like, because they can just be like, well, we don't know you. We don't know you. He gave his best game to Jeremy. He likes that meat shield strategy. He would like to get with someone who can be his meat shield. I feel like a lot of the meat shields are on the other team. He might can link up with Sandra, but we have to see how it goes. Like, he needs to make friends fast on the red team. He can also be, since people don't know him, he could be the number that they just scoop up for their alliance, you know, because he will be an extra vote. I'm looking forward to seeing what Nick can do. Next, we have Yule. Now, I didn't remember anything from Yule's season. He was on that season where everyone was playing with their race, and I remember that theme of the game, but I really just didn't remember Yule's season. It was very old school Survivor, like stick with your alliance. Yule was very smart. He was able to adapt to the game very easily and pick up. So I feel like I'm confident that Yule can do that same thing with new Survivor. Like he can see kind of how things are going to be going very quickly, and I'm hoping he can keep up with that. I think he'll be a great person to join into someone's alliance, and he also says the same thing because his reputation is known for integrity and honesty. People are going to trust him, so they're going to want him to be in their alliance. And I feel like that's going to help him. I feel like Yule is definitely going to make it to the merge. I don't see anyone really wanting to get him out. I really think he could be a sleeper. He really could be a sleeper pick. I don't know. Yule is also one who doesn't trust Sandra or Poverty or Kim. So he's another one. Because two of those three are on his team, he needs to keep that opinion to himself for a little while. Now, last but definitely not least is the 10th person on the red team. It's Miss Sandra, the two-time winner. I like Sandra. I can't wait to see what she does with this being, I don't even know how many times she's been out there, but with she being the most winning winner out there, she already has a lot of hate, and she knows that she's a threat and she's playing from the bottom. I love Miss Sandra. My favorite quote of Sandra's is, if I like you, then I like you. And if I don't like you, then you will know. I love Sandra. I love Sandra's attitude. I love Sandra's vibe. Mind you, I'm a huge Russell fan. But that season when Sandra played with Russell and Russell was like, either you with me or you against me. And Sandra's like, I'm against you, Russell. I was like, yes, ma'am. I just love the attitude. The attitude is going to get her hurt. The attitude, she better not come out there talking about the queen is queen and the queen is staying queen. Leave all that to your Twitter, Sandra. Don't come out on that beach talking about you the queen is the queen. Now, let me talk about Sandra real quick. And I know my video getting long, and I'm going to have to make a separate video for the blue team, but that's okay. Sandra was dropping tea. And y'all get in the comments and let me know what you think, because I feel a certain kind of way, and I believe this tea. Sandra says her and Rob on season 39, season of the Idols, were approached to be on season 40, the winter season. Sandra said right away she was here for it. Sign me up on the dotted line. I want to play. Rob said right away, no, he does not want to play on a season where he will be the first one to get kicked out. And he also said that his wife Amber never wanted to play Survivor again. She never had any thoughts of wanting to play Survivor again. So on season 39, Sandra was on the understanding that she was going to 40, Rob was not. She said she was confused where somewhere on this 2-week break, because they got 2 weeks in between seasons, Rob was convinced to join season 40, and his wife Amber was convinced. She was like, it worries me about what went down for him to change his mind in 2 weeks. I said, is she hinting at production? Is she hinting at a signing bonus? Like, I don't know. I can see it. Rob has too much of an ego to go first. And mind you, you done heard the 10 people who I said on the red team. So you know the rest of the 10 people that's on the blue team. The blue team is stacked. I don't see it where the blue team is going to lose up into this swap. So Rob, I feel like they stacked the blue team for Rob to guarantee that he don't go home first. I don't know, Sandra, but that's Sandra also said that during season 39, when she knew she was going to be on 40, she knows how much of a strategical player Rob is. She said she started to study Rob and just study his game and the advice he was giving the people on Island of the Idols, because she wanted to just soak in some of his knowledge for when she returns for 40. So that was a good strategy, Sandra. Learn what you can from him. And Sandra wants to have a target alliance, and by target alliance, she wants all the people who are huge threats to become one alliance. I feel like if Sandra was on the blue team, that would work for her, but since Sandra's on the red team, the targets over there, I think, are going to clash and not want to work together, but we shall see. Now, because I don't want my videos to be too long, I'm going to leave the red team right there. I will be right back and do a separate video for the blue team. But this is Kiss My Cheeks TV. I'm your girl, Angie. I do a lot of reality show videos, so you might not have seen me before Survivor. But if you're into Survivor, please hit subscribe. Become a part of the Kiss My Cheeks family. I will be reviewing this season because my level of excitement can't even be measured. It can't even be measured how here I am for this season. So please subscribe to my channel. Get in the comments. Let's comment together about this season. Talk about strategies together about this season. Like this video. Share this video. The more the merrier. Welcome. Please come along. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. And come back for the blue team. Okay. Bye.